Hello and a very warm welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now, the Veneto region of Italy is often overlooked when it comes to buying property. But there are many beautiful towns and cities in this region where property prices are very reasonable. Veneto has many pretty villages and small towns, and I may actually do a separate video on the best small towns and villages to buy property in this region. But today I will concentrate on the larger towns where you have a lot more facilities. Unfortunately, Venice did not make the cut, as it is one of the most expensive cities to buy property in Italy. And there are other problems as well, such as the fact that Venice suffers from over-tourism, and that eventually many scientists predict that by the end of the century, the city unfortunately will be under water. Now, Treviso came close to making it to the top 5 with its lovely canals and bridges, along with a wonderful cathedral. But with property prices at an average of 2,300 euros per square meter, I thought other cities offered better value. That said, though, I would consider Treviso simply because it's a lovely city and it also has its own airport. But anyway, here are my top 5 places to buy property in the region of Veneto. And coming in at number 5 is Padova. Now, with a population of around 210,000, Padova is a beautiful city and home to one of the most ancient universities in the world, where Galileo Galilei used to teach. It has 2 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, namely the Botanical Gardens, which are the most ancient in the world, and the Cycle of Frescoes by Giotto in the Scrovegni Chapel. The Basilica of San Antonio, which attracts thousands of pilgrims each year, is also spectacular, and there are many lovely churches, other lovely churches to see here, and beautiful villas, as well as a 16th century Baroque synagogue. Now, as you can imagine, the city is rich in history and claims to be one of the oldest cities in northern Italy. Padova actually has the largest square in Italy, called Prato della Valle, which is also one of the largest in Europe. And there are lots of things to do in the city. Padova has the Verdi Theatre, which hosts operas, musicals, plays, concerts and ballets. And Padova has a football, rugby and volleyball team. And other sports like rowing, basketball, cycling, swimming and horseback riding are also popular in this city. Transport-wise, Padova is very well connected, only about 50 kilometers from Venice's Marco Polo airport, with Verona, Treviso and Bologna airports not too far away either. And Padova also has 2 railway stations, one of which is amongst the busiest in Italy, connecting to many Italian cities by high-speed rail. Now, within the city, there is also a good bus transport system. Now, with all this, I believe at an average of around 2,000 euros per square meter, property prices are very reasonable, so you definitely should consider buying here. Now, coming in at number 4 is the absolutely beautiful city of Verona. Now, at an average of around 2,350 euros per square meter, many would argue that property prices in this wonderful city are not particularly cheap. But this must be set against the backdrop that Verona is really, really beautiful. The whole city has been named a World Heritage Site. The city has a population of just over 250,000 and is famous all over the world for its Roman amphitheatre and the balcony of Romeo and Juliet. If you ever get the chance to see an opera, please do so, because in the Roman amphitheatre, known as l'Arena di Verona, if you see an opera here, it's absolutely spectacular. I was lucky enough to see Aida by Verdi. And what makes in particular the centre of Verona so special is the presence of historical landmarks from different ages of history, such as Roman ruins, as well as lovely Gothic medieval churches. Just think that this really beautiful city, crossed by the Adige River, is very near Lake Garda, So we are talking less than 25 minutes by train. Sports-wise, the city has two football clubs, one of which, Hellas Verona, won the Scudetto in 1985. Now that is the top division of Italian football, so they were champions in 1985. It also has rugby, volleyball and basketball teams. Transport-wise, the city has the 9th busiest railway station in Italy, serving around 25 million passengers per year. But best of all, Verona has its own airport which flies to a number of European cities, including London, Paris, Barcelona, Porto, Dublin, Warsaw, Oslo, Helsinki, Riga, Brussels, Amsterdam, Munich and Frankfurt as well. So very well connected. Now, coming in at number 4 is the city of Belluno. With a population of around 35,000, the city of Belluno is located at the foot of the Dolomites in the northern part of Veneto, about 100 kilometers away from Venice. Now, if you enjoy the outdoor life, Belluno is the place for you. It has great activities such as hiking in the Dolomites and skiing during the winter time. But please do not think that Belluno is just for hiking and skiing. The city itself is also very attractive. There are many lovely churches in the city. The Piazza del Duomo is the beating heart of the city and has a great place to sit and have a nice coffee, as well as other drinks. Now, there are also many beautiful buildings in this city, and the Cathedral of San Martino is an unmissable attraction as well. Although transport-wise, it is a little limited, Belluno still does have its own railway station and a bus station as well. The nearest airport, Marco Polo, is over 70 kilometers away, so you may ask, why have I put Belluno in 3rd place? Well, listen to this. Property prices in Belluno on average are only just above €1,000 per square meter, which for a relatively wealthy city, I think is incredible value for money. And just think as well, back in 2015, they were nearly €1,500 per square meter on average, so quite a drop. Coming in at number 2 is Rovigo. Now, I wonder how many of you have heard of this lovely city. Rovigo actually has a population of around 50,000 and is only a few kilometers from the region of Emilia-Romagna. You could say that here you can get the best of two regions, as the architecture bears the stamp of both Veneto and Emilia-Romagna. The city has lots of attractions, including the ruins of a castle of which 2 towers remain, a lovely town hall, many noteworthy buildings, a cathedral dating back to the 11th century, beautiful churches including the well-known Rotonda, and an art gallery which houses works by Giovanni Bellini, Tiepolo and Palma the Elder, amongst others. Sports-wise, Rovigo has a very successful rugby team which has attracted many famous players from around the world. There are, though, many other sports practiced here, including football, swimming, handball, and even baseball. And Rovigo also became the first Italian city to have a Gaelic football club. The Rovigo Social Theatre has activities including opera, ballet and dance, so a lot to do here. And Rovigo does have its own railway station, and the nearest airports are Venice, Bologna, Treviso and Verona, which are all less, I'll say that again, less than 100 kilometers away, so it is quite easy to get here. And incredibly, prices are only €1,000 per square meter on average, and even in the city centre you can find property for just above €1,000 per square meter, which for me I think is incredible value for such a wonderful city. But it doesn't quite make it to the number 1 spot. The number 1 place for me to buy property in Veneto is Vicenza. Now, the beautiful city of Vicenza, also known as the city of Palladio, is, in my opinion, the most underrated city in the Veneto region. The city of Vicenza and the Palladian villas of Veneto are also on the list of World Heritage Sites. This city of around 112,000 inhabitants is one of Italy's richest cities and is the third largest Italian industrial centre as measured by the value of its exports. And about 1/5 of the country's gold and jewellery are made in this beautiful city. Vicenza is home to 22 buildings by Palladio, the most famous being the magnificent Basilica Palladiana located in the centre, and also the Olympic Theatre is incredibly famous. There are also many lovely historical churches located in the city, and the outskirts of Vicenza are also nice, and you will find here a number of Palladian villas which are not very well known outside the Veneto region. Add to this museums, art galleries, piazzas, villas and elegant palazzi, and you have got yourself a truly wonderful city. Sports-wise, Vicenza has a football, rugby and an American football team as well. Vicenza has its own railway station on the Milan to Venice railway line, and the nearest airports are Treviso, Venice and Verona airports, which are all less than 70 kilometers away. But best of all, for such an incredible city, property prices on average are only just above €1,500 per square metre. Now, I think this is incredible value for money because, as I've said, this is a really, really rich city we're talking about. And there's lots of things to see and do. And it is the quality of life, I think, here is one of the best in Italy. Many would argue that it is that, well, from a Veneto point of view, it is the best. But I'd love to know your thoughts. Had you thought about buying in this region of Veneto? Which cities would you have put in the top 5? I would absolutely love to know your thoughts. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks ever so much for watching, and I shall see you very soon on the next video.